Okay, so this is where the rubber meets the road. We're inside Canva, and so after you set up your account and stuff, and you log in, you'll basically be opening up this main dashboard or main thing and stuff. So I have quite a few designs. You won't have any of these yet and stuff. But let's say that like you're going to do something for Facebook, for posts and stuff. What's nice about Canva is it goes ahead and right away it's available and stuff. It gives you the right sizes, and you can also have Instagram, and for more, there's like things for Twitter. That's for the headers for your profile pages. So that's all there, the headers. And then for the posts, here's a Twitter post and stuff. So this time around, we're gonna do, just for our example, a Twitter post. And so we're gonna go ahead. We click on the design. And one more thing before we go further, you can also put in a custom design, and that's right up here, and that's always available. So basically, if you choose custom, you just basically will enter the width and the height, and you can go ahead and it'll crank out that size for you then. But this time around, we're going to do the Twitter design, and here we chose one of the photos. So I'm going to go ahead and upload the photo. So I'm going to upload the photo. Here I'm using the calla lily that we found, and it'll put it in here. Well, it will actually upload it. There it is. And once we select it, now of course you can see it's not going to be the right size in this case, and it's really hard for this one because it's actually more vertical than horizontal. But I'm gonna still go with it anyway because I actually want to use a lot of this space here, and so we'll see how it turns out. If it's really not gonna work, then I'll go ahead and switch it over. So let's go and resize it. And as you can see, it gets more and more difficult the more you have to change, radically change the sizing of it and stuff. So I may just still go back to the other photo that I chose. And as you can see, it's really a matter of like, but actually it looks like in this case it kind of just fits. It's not the best kind of choice stuff. What I like though is this very plain space here, and that'll make it really easy to use the quote. So in this case, I'm going to choose the beauty quote. So I'm just simply going to copy it right here and Control C, of course. And I'm going to choose a text. Now, once you go ahead and select text, it just defaults to Trout key 24. And I'm going to cut and paste in here. And now you notice it's black, which of course makes it very hard to see. And we're going to switch over to white here. And in this case, you can see there's a lot of other junk that we really don't need, but that was just because of the way Brainy Quote does their setup for when you do, the different quotes and stuff. Not all the other ones. Of course, the other ones should just be regular text and stuff. Anyways, so here I'm going to choose this. Now, what I'd like to do actually is have the person's name be a little bit smaller. So actually, what I can do instead of just creating another text box is I'm actually going to copy it, and then now I'm going to pull this one down, and I'm going to just delete the first part here, and this one I'm going to delete the name part. And this is one of those cases that I'll be honest, I'm not a big graphics design person actually, even though I'm teaching this. I'm more teaching this just to make it show you how simple it is to do these inspiring memes and stuff. But what I tend to do is like I'll look for styles that I like, and as I mentioned, some of the other sites will have different ones and stuff, and then I'll try to copy like how they choose their fonts and stuff. So sometimes I may go a little bit more elaborate, something like this where it's a little bit more interesting looking. But generally speaking, what I want to do is see what fonts will work for the size that I'm working with and stuff. So now I actually have a slight problem because it's a little bit of an overlay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this one out of the way. And if you ever need to, here's that little circle bar underneath, or circle arrow. You can actually tilt it around a little bit if you want, but we're not going to mess with that. If you ever do something that you want to go back, go back on, there's always the undo button up here. And so here in this situation, I kind of like it already. So I think I may not mess around with it too much more. Here, there's the thing about line spacing. It's a little bit more space that I like. I do like how it's kind of, I could go centered, but actually I like the left centering and stuff like that, or left alignment. But I'm gonna do one more thing here where I'm gonna deal with the line spacing, and because I feel that's kind of a little bit too. Oops. And that's the other part too. Like Canva will also different times, depending on which boxes you use, stuff like that. You can see like this kind of little line that shows up that kind of helps you line things up and everything. So this one right here is, you'll see, is like lined up both horizontally and vertically, and which is kind of nice. But sometimes we want to go a little bit off, and here I'm using like just a lip of the flower to kind of guide where I put this and stuff. So here's the text spacing as we kind of looked at, and the letter spacing I like between the letters and stuff, but I'm more interested in the line height. So I'm going to tighten this up a little bit, as you can see. And just to get something that's a little bit more pleasing. And that's all of it too, or a lot of it, is just simply finding things that is basically mean something to you, and also will connect with your audience and everything. So here I'm actually pretty happy with it. At this point, I can always put a little bit of text where I can either put at so here I can put a little bit of a blurb. Again, we gotta change it back to white. I could do something like follow us official me time. So again, we can kind of choose where we align this, and there's some other options too with the text. So here I can actually make it a little bit more. Oops, and of course we'll undo that. I can make this a little bit bolder to kind of make it more easier to see. And looks like I need to space that out a little bit more. So this one I may actually center, because that's when I want to put everything centered for this one, I think. Let's try it and see what happens. There. And some of this is going to be a little bit trial and error, and seeing what works and stuff. So that's really it. I mean, here, like, I just like overall kind of like the composition. Things kind of flow pretty well and stuff. And then it's really your choice about, like, whether you want to use a follow us ad or, visit us at the website and stuff. And that's pretty much it. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and download this and include this with the your other materials for this, to learn how to do these memes. But this is really the meat of everything we've been doing. This is what it comes down to and stuff. And then from here on out, there's different ways to share it, and I'm gonna go more over that in other kind of future, either on Fiverr or other things that I do. I teach a number of courses and everything, but this is it. So from here on out, the main thing is to download it. You can also download it as a PDF, but generally speaking, you want to download it as an image, of course. At least that's what I do. And there's a little bit of a trick that I can show you about, for doing it for the Instagram. It's a little bit more tricky, and that's actually, I have a separate video on that one, and I'll send you the link for that as well. And that's really it. So after you download it, you have it ready to go. So it's, as you can see here, we have the file, and I may simplify the file name a little bit, just to make it a little bit easier to find different times. If I'm looking for it and stuff like that, I'll put it on my desktop maybe. Just copy and paste it there. and it's ready for upload. So this is the heart of the